Sharon, Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about volunteering as an organization to make a difference and to supersize your business. Give you that competitive advantage that other organizations may or may not have, generally do not have when it comes to operating in the business world and then the world around us at large. So I'm going to share a 4-step process for doing that within your organization to make sure that you hook up with and do the proper volunteering, or not the proper, but the ones that are right for you is what I mean by proper. There isn't any right way or wrong way to do anything in life, right? It's you find the way that works best for you, given what you got at the time, right? Do what you can with what you've got right now. So what is a quick 5-step process for volunteering as an organization? I'll share that, then I'll share a couple of people's examples of how they did this for their businesses or for other businesses, right? To help them to create the impact that they want to have, the difference they want to make in the world. Because if we're not here to make the world a better place, what the heck are we doing, right? Are we just going through this life surviving and, in living in a dog-eat-dog world? No, I hope not. At least that's not how I want to live or operate as a business owner. So number one, we want to, I'm on business here. Never mind. 4-step process for business, 5-step process for individuals. Number one, we want to design a volunteer program aligned with our company values. So consciously decide, hey, we are going to set up a system and a way and a process within our organization for people in the business who want to volunteer to have an opportunity to do that, or to have many opportunities to do that, depending on the size of your organization. I worked for Procter & Gamble, my first job out of college. And I think at that time they had 80 or 85,000 employees. I have no idea what they have now. I haven't kept track. But the division and the areas that I worked in employed, thousands and thousands of people. And so that meant by having a volunteer program, which is, I, of course, was part of their volunteer program because I love to do that. That's where I got involved in Big Brothers Big Sisters. I had a little sister. For the 5 years that I worked there, I had a little sister in Big Brothers Big Sisters, and it's incredible the impact that you can make by just helping one other human being and spending time with that human being. So one little girl, and that was an incredibly powerful experience for me and for all of us that were involved in all the different types of volunteering that was available at that particular company. Now, I think that's a competitive advantage of big companies when they actually create volunteer programs and make it a possible way that you can spend some of your time and energy. It doesn't have to be just doing your job. You can be involved in things that are greater than ourselves. And for me, they're one of the things that I love to do with Big Brothers Big Sisters. They had other things too. We had the Halloween decorating for Halloween, etc. We did a lot of different projects as an organization, and that was just one little piece of the Procter & Gamble organization. So we want to set up a program aligned with our company values. What do we value? What do we value most? Obviously children, and making sure that underserved populations and people get a possible mentor and leg up. But you have to decide what those things are for your organization. Does your business champion sustainability? Is it do you organize events to reflect the things that are important to you? Like, for example, if that is one that's important to you, you might organize park cleanups, or you might sponsor recycling drives or renewable energy. If health and well-being is important to you, you might sponsor blood drives or donating blood, or whatever it might be health related, or seminars and programs. The second step of that is to offer paid time off for volunteering. We called it VTO, and you could actually spend a certain amount of hours each month volunteering and still get paid for volunteering, which is a great way for companies to financially support their employees and encourage them to do volunteer work to make their communities more, number one, to impact their communities in a positive way, and to offer up skills and abilities and resources that a lot of organizations, nonprofits especially, wouldn't have access to. 3, track and celebrate your impact metrics. Make sure you have some ways of measuring, well, is our volunteer program, is it even making a difference? And if there's always places where it is, and places where it's struggling. And you have to ask yourself then, are we going to continue to put our energy and efforts in places where our volunteering isn't really having an impact? Or, heaven forbid, not having the impact we want in terms of not having a positive impact, but actually having a negative impact. Sometimes our culture, sometimes the people that choose to volunteer don't enter into those situations with the most altruistic of motives. And that happens. It's sad, but it does happen. And we want to share what's working and the metrics. It can be content for newsletters, annual reports, marketing. Again, a way to tie in what we're doing to positively impact the world around us into things that help our business to grow and differentiate it from the competitors, because we all have competitors, even if it's just competition for our people's attention. And then 4, partner with local nonprofits and local organizations that can use your volunteer help, skills, and abilities, right? Building long-term partnerships with local and regional or global, depending on the size of your organization, communities-based organizations ensures a deeper impact. It ensures mutual support, and it helps to tailor efforts to the actual needs of the on the ground, the needs of the people that you're here to help and serve, or the needs of the environment that you're working in, etc. So keep in mind there's this huge ripple effect of everything that we do. Anytime we put positive into the world, that creates more positive, right? And that's what we want to do. At least that's what I want to do. So I want to share a couple people's stories. Thomas, he was an executive who now mentors startups. He is a semi-retired business consultant from Chicago. He worked for a big business consulting firm. And when he started to cut back on his hours, he realized that he was really uninspired. And so his time away from work, he's like, man, bored, watching Netflix, not knowing what to do. And so instead of fading into the background, he said, okay, well, what can I do about this? So he registered with a small business incubator and offered pro bono mentoring for minority-owned startups on a part-time basis. He now spends 10 hours a week advising entrepreneurs and funding, scaling, leadership, team building, etc. and loves it. So far, his mentees have created over 120 jobs in the area in underserved communities. And from a personal growth standpoint, because guess what? Everything we put out into the world, and every time we do a new thing or have a new experience, it's as much about our own personal growth and development as it is about what we contribute or volunteer in this case. He said, I thought I was giving advice, but I've learned more about resilience and innovation than in my entire corporate career. And then I also want to share Carla's story. Carla was a chef, and during the pandemic, she lost her restaurant. And instead of not, throwing in the towel and trying to find something else to do, well, she did find something else to do. She redirected her energy into starting a mobile soup kitchen. Partnering with local shelters and food banks, she and her small team serve nutritious meals 3 nights a week to a homeless population across the city. She's impacted so far, their impact has been 45,000 meals served and counting. And again, from her point of view and perspective, she says, this is the most fulfilling cooking I've ever done. Food with dignity is a human right. And I love that. So today, think about, if you don't have a volunteer program, could you and would you and should you and might you start a volunteer program for your business, for your company? It doesn't matter if there's only 1 or 2 of you. You can choose to consciously volunteer and support causes that are important to you right now. And I contend it's actually a lot easier to start when you're small than it is to try to incorporate it into an existing large company culture. Been my personal experience. But it's doable if you just so choose. If it's in alignment with your goals and what you want to create and the impact you want to have in the world, you will find a way to make it happen. All right, any questions about this, hit me up and ask. Otherwise, go out, make it an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.